Hello, family. Pastor George here. And as usual, I'm here with Danette. Danette, our co-host with the most. How you doing, Danette?
I am good. How are you, George?
Good, good, good. Hey, just got back from traveling. And you guys don't give me a hard time about all the food I posted. I went to a conference. I ate so much, everybody started calling me the name of the restaurant the next day and doing it. So anyway, man, glad to be back and in doing this. But hey, we have a very special episode today. We're going to be talking about building generational wealth and the different areas. So I want to turn over to you, Danette, because you said on the show that people are asking you questions. And as you guys know, we have an Ask George segment. So, Danette.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I was going to say exactly that. I field all the Ask George questions. They should be called Ask Danette to Ask George. So anyway, everybody's asking Danette to ask George questions about building generational wealth, which is a great question because that's exactly what you do. I mean, George, come on, tell the people what to do because that's like the hardest thing. Generational wealth, not just wealth, generational wealth, leaving it to your family members so that they can grow and continue to grow, not, for it all down to nothing, but you know what I'm saying? Can you
Yes.
just come on, give us
I
some.
will. I will. But first of all, as you know, everybody in the Bible, it says in Proverbs 13 and 22 that a good person, it says a good man in some versions, but a good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. But a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. Okay.
Sinner?
And I want to actually talk to you about, there's actually another scripture in the Bible that also says the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the just. Okay. But see, it doesn't put a time and a date on there. So that's why we want to start putting time and dates to things. So one of the things that says a good person, what I want to focus on, leaves an inheritance to their children's children. So what that means generational. So it's not just your children. That's actually misquoted a lot. Someone says to their children. So a children's children means it's going down 2 generations. So remember this, and then also, guys, hit me up in the chat about this as we're talking about it. Number one, it's wealth, but this is the part they miss. That's the part that people are missing. The second is knowledge. You can't just pass wealth to somebody. Because if you right now, I'm gonna type it. See, I told you we're gonna be interactive today. Is type in the chat. If you were to receive $1 million right now, what would you do with it? Let me tell you. I'm sorry, I'll wait. Go ahead. I was gonna say write this down, but anyway, we're gonna say type this in. Is some people would say what? I would look for a financial advisor. But see, you should have one now. Some say, I buy a piece of property. Where would that piece of property be? We should already be looking at these things. Then I hear this, and then I would open up a business. See, the challenge is if you open up a business from scratch, these inheritances may not last long. You've already also seen, Danette, as you've seen this, they had a TV show, or they have these shows where you see where athletes are given money, and the minute they stop playing, their money stops. Then you also see where people get inheritance, and they say the average inheritance in the United States lasts less than 18 months. That means someone, and we've seen it, as you know, as I run a financial firm, there's people that I've built up wealth for them for 20 years. They give it to their grandkids or their niece and nephew, and then it's just gone. So we're not going to cover how to spend it. We're going to show you how it's built up. But I want to make sure we understand this. Is that number one is one is financial, and the second is knowledge. And you want to build them both up at the exact same time. So one of the first things we want to do about building generational wealth is start to make certain commitments. The first commitment is that you're going to grow, but then also that you're going to teach your children all the way along. There's actually an African proverb where that their parents, what they do is they invest in their children, and then when they get older, their children take care of them. So here we go. I'm gonna ask you the first question before we do it. Is it how many of you watching right now could say that if your children are adults, that you could, when you get ready to retire, take all of your money and just give it to your children and let them grow it, and then let them have it, and then let them take care of you? So then let me ask you a question. How many people would really be able to say that out of 100 would say, oh, I think that'd be good just to leave it to my kids, and they do that?
Yeah, don't ask me that question because I know the answer.
Right. But I want to ask you, But you see, that's why you want to train up a child in the way that they should go.
They should go.
So
Yeah.
they don't depart from it. So you start teaching things. Now,
Mhm.
by the way, I have so many classes and so many things we've done. Kids in investing, and where I teach investing and doing them, and they're on the playlist because we want to start teaching you how we begin to do things. And there's little practices that we always have. Like the other day, like I took my son to Costco, and one of the first things he figured out is now my kids, so I have twins that are 9, my daughter's 7. And one of the things is my sons, they know when they walk into a store if I own the stock of it, because they see how I respond. Daddy, can I get that jacket? Yes, son. Because what does that do? That brings us dividends. Oh, by the way, dividends are stock pays out dividends and things like that. They kind of start seeing a flow. So I'm passing generational knowledge onto them. Like, so they'll say Costco, and then if I yell Costco, they'll say keeps the cost low. You see, I'm teaching them how to do it. Oh, and then wait, I might even put up a picture. And then I'll do it. One of our toilets, I showed my son how to auger a toilet. I never had done it. I showed him, you guys, there's something called, sorry to get all graphic with you guys, but anyway, there's something called, but this actually makes sense. You plunge something, but then you can also use auger. And I showed my son how to do it. And auger is something where you can actually clean out a toilet deeper, like 6 or 7 feet in, instead of running a snake down into the toilet, so you don't damage it. Okay, gotcha. This is really good. Okay, good. Everyone, this is how you fix a toilet. And I want every person that's gone to any of my investment class or know I do it. I want you to raise your right hand because you see where I'm getting ready to go. I was teaching my kids how to fix a toilet. Why? Not so that they can fix a toilet, so that when they hire people to fix our toilets, when they say something is drained and they tell us, oh, it costs $2,000, some absorbent fee because they had to take the toilet off and this, that. And then my son, just all I need them to say is, did you use an auger first? Oh, okay, then that should be $75. And then they can quote so people can't take advantage of them.
Okay.
Do you understand that? Sorry, everybody, real quick. Do you understand the lesson that I'm teaching you? Is that you want to teach, I'm teaching my sons how to manage a property by managing ours. And you guys know that in Matthew in the Bible, it says that you are faithful over a few things, I'll make you rule over many. And you have to start teaching your kids different things, like teaching people how to cook, men and women, how to do. And then also people say chores. I say just get the things done around the house. All right. I don't have time to get into it, but I'm going to actually say this. I don't do allowances. My children do not get paid to live in this house. My children do not, just like they don't do participation trophies. They can receive fees and commissions. Yesterday, Gracie asked me for something, and she said, "How much?" I said, "How much it cost?" She said, $17. I said, "Gracie, how would we make $17?" Guess what she said to me? She said, "First, how would you get $17?" She says, "First, I can ask someone to donate it to me." It was a Sunday. It's funny. She saw me do the offering as a church. And I said, "But you understand that you're a prophet?" She goes, "I could open up a business." I said, "Well, what type of business would you do?" She said, "I would sell stuff." And then she goes, "Merch." She already knows the lingo. I said, but we have to get it wholesale and sell it retail. What merchandise I want to get. So then we found out that she wanted to make cards for people, draw out cards for people for the profit margin. So you see, lesson number 1 is when your kids ask you for money, start talking to them about, hey, how do we make it? So they can get going. Now, I know some people said, George, this girl's only 7 years old, but you understand by the time she's 18, she got to float her own boats. Many of you, you know what I mean? Like, she'll have property, she'll have certain things, but you understand, I was gonna say it to him, but I'll say it now. If my children receive this much money, I want them to grow it to that. You understand? I want them to be able to grow because I have to teach them that skill. That's wealth building. It's a thing. And then guess what? When it's generational wealth building, it's called a family affair. So the first thing that you actually want to do, and then Danette, I'm gonna have you help me walk through this, is assess where you're at financially. Okay. There are 5 levels that you're at one of these 5 levels. So first, there is struggling and sinking. That means you have the inability to pay your current bills. So your goal is to get to steady. Everybody, it ain't to get to service, it's to get to steady. The second is Solid. That means you've been working somewhere for a while, putting in the 401k, different things, you've been working some for a while, doing pretty well, take vacation, stuff like that. Now it seems like it's legal to do that, so everybody's doing that. And then surplus. That means extra money. So then, and then the next level, service, where you're not concerned with finances. You do whatever God puts you on this earth to do. So I want to repeat these again: struggling, steady, solid, surplus, service. So whatever level you're at, the goal is to get to the next level. So this is where the generational wealth comes in. Then I'm going to kick it over to you, Net, and we can add any color to this. If you're struggling, you want to get to steady. So certain things you want to do, and you want to do them financially, like whether it's get out of debt. But a lot of times we're struggling, it is get a job that pays more money or increase your income. And then, so what I'm going to ask you next, Annette, is about other ways of getting income. Like you may want to have a job, and there's something called active income. That's working, getting income. Then there's something called passive income, right? Real estate, investing. We'll come back to that a little bit in this area. And then we want to look at how we can pass it on. And then we'll look at how things work with taxes. Then you see they're solid. So that means you're doing pretty good. Then what you want to do, this is the beauty part, they're solid, surplus, service, is whatever level you're at, you want to get, this is the generational part. You want to get a person, I'm going to put it right back up here, a person that's doing, let's say you're at solid. You need to have also a friend, family member. I'm going to start with family, but then also I want you to start having friends to make this generational wealth that are surplus. Like I find friends that are doing way better, that are doing better than me. You know, and by the way, no matter how good you're doing, I think everyone knows, you can type that in the chat if you want to, no matter how good you're doing, there are people doing much better. I think, you know, that I'm going to be going to a financial advisor conference pretty soon in the next few weeks. And there are guys there that are just killing it. And even though, and Danette, as you know, in 2000, recently I was financial advisor of the year. And it's like, you know, I don't want to say it's like getting in the Hall of Fame, but it's like after that, a couple guys started coming that had won in the past. And I've been to their offices, you know, and all their employees. And they're in the, you know, there's something called a million flow. These guys are in the billion flow. And just to talk to them, but you know, the number one thing that they have, it's their mindset. We have meetings the way they talk, the way they think. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you go to the hotel, they're like, yeah, this is the thing. This what time will I be picked up? Like, they're like, what? Like, they like, we had to walk one time, this one place. They go, you want me to walk over there? I'm not doing that. I'm not coming. like they have a different mindset. So you want to have someone that's doing above, and then you can have people that are on the same level as you. And then you want to have people that are actually, I'm going to say beneath you, but some people that you could encourage. So if you're solid, you should be talking to steady people. And you should be, I'm going to take this down for 1 second. And you should be you want to pull them up. And the people that are doing a little better than you, you want to hang around with them. You know, we were talking earlier. So now one of the things is inviting people to a football game, inviting people to do this, go to lunch with them, set up a Zoom meeting. You start talking to people that are just doing a little bit better. But then what you do is value their time and have very specific things about that will help you get to the next level. I had to clap for that. I don't know why I'm clapping for myself because you understand that this is so interesting. I'm going on that trip and you already know that I've already called 2 guys to have lunch with them and they're like this. And I said, hey, George, where do you want to meet? I said, man, wherever you want to meet. I said, what hotel are you at? They tell me that. I said, I'll meet you on okay, now look it up. Okay, meet me on the 8th floor. And then what do? I pay for it because I want to sit there and then glean from. And then I want to find out. And by the way, you can talk to someone for 5 minutes and figure out why they're successful in that area and learn from watching people that are very good. And then some of us we even lay out there. Danette, I would show you a picture. I went to the groundbreaking for the Clippers. And I just want to let you guys know something. I watched Steve Ballmer for about 4, maybe 5 minutes. I said, I see why he's a billionaire or why he's financially successful. Very nice guy, thanked everybody, and just watch how he did that. You actually may want to watch how he does it. So watch people that are doing very well and then learn from them. And then occasionally you may get people that model. So what I do is, it's funny, I said model like I'm a model, but I try to model everything. When I buy properties, I bring everybody to them. If you guys are interested in this, just let us know. We do them. We shoot videos. We do everything with them. As you remember, I bought a home during the pandemic, rented out a home. You remember we did all this, and then also sold one, selling in the process of selling one, all during the same time and during that process and doing it. So those are the ones that you actually want to do. Now I want to go back to encouraging. Even though you're doing whatever level you're at, there's somebody that you can also encourage, and you want to show them, like if you got out of how you got out of debt, and you want to show them how you did that, how you home shop. If you have a home that's on this level, and you're trying to get a home on this, a different home, then also there's people that don't have a home. Show them, keep teaching people, and that's how you actually walk through that. So that's actually how one of the ways that you build wealth. I want to kick it back over to you. Any color you want to add to some of the things, because we've been working together. So I'm getting it right this year. 20 years. So she has done all the seminars that I've done over all the last 20 years. Anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I do. So, I mean, people know me as Coach Danette. I actually walk people through how to get to that, because a lot of people's mentality is really what challenges them, and they don't even realize mindset. You mentioned this with what you were just saying. Mindset is key. Not only are you needing to learn for yourself, but you need to transfer that information, pass that information to your children, and of course your children's children, because like you said, there's levels to this game, right? There's levels you have to reach. Multiple streams of income is critical in especially in California, Los Angeles, more particularly for those that are watching us from all over the country, in some places even outside of the United States. But it's interesting when you were talking about teaching your daughter and your children how to build wealth. Girl Scouts came to mind for me, because I was talking to my granddaughter the other day, and I just asked her for some reason. I was like, hey, do you want to join the Girl Scouts? Because one of her friends is a Girl Scout, and they have a sign in their front yard that never leaves. And it says, a Girl Scout lives here. Something about buying cookies. So it's not even like they're at the store. They're just, you see this sign every day. And you know what my grand said to me when I said, do you want to become a Girl Scout? She said this: I don't want to sell no cookies. I said, wow. I said, so I got into a conversation with her about why they sell cookies and why you do want to sell cookies. But if you don't want to sell cookies, you actually just asked me to take you to Granny's Yogurt, which is like yogurt land out here. So, yeah. But, I had to talk to her about how I have money to go to Granny's Yogurt, and she needs to be learning how to get her own money to do the things she wants to do. So that's what I wanted to add color to this conversation, literally about teaching children how to get money to get the things that they want. Because right now they think that it's about just asking how to get it from your pocket. My mom used to always say, money. You remember the saying, money don't grow on trees?
Who knows that? Type that in. Yes. No, I say that, but no, Danette, that is right on. Girl Scouts is one of the best entrepreneurship, and I want to turn it into family. So my twin sister was a Girl Scout. So I'm raising my hand as one of the top Girl Scout cookie sellers in Rochester, Minnesota. In the cold, I watch people walking around here. I watch people stand out in front of, people do it. They're smart. They stand out there on Century. They stand out on a busy street in Inglewood, or stand out in front of, they do it. Or people tapping me. They know I like tag-alongs, and they know what I like, and what my wife likes to drink. So so back to entrepreneurship. That taught me one of my first jobs in sales. Is my dad set up an expectation. My dad used to hand us a sheet and go like this. Pull off 2 sheets and go, yeah, hey, come on back when the sheet's full. Like he never said, go see what can happen and different things. So we knocked on the first door. We'd like some Girl Scout cookies, and I said, and also me and my sister got hip to it. We're standing there. So I'm a twin. By the way, I'm older than my sister. By the way, I'm older.
How many minutes?
Don't matter how many minutes. It matters who's older. Okay, 15 minutes. Doing that. Shout out, Jen. We would go up to a house, knock on the door, and we'd say, hello, how are you doing? George and Jennifer, how you doing? How many would you like, 1 box or 2?
You don't give it. You ain't even asking. You just telling them.
Stop. Everybody right now. Cash at me. Just kidding. No, you ain't got to do that. Just please be stuff. Do you see what I did? I never asked you if you wanted Girl Scout cookies. I
Yeah.
say, hey, me and my twin sister, she's Girl Scouts. My dad, you see us down the street, and we have a little thing on it. And then my dad be standing back there, a little further back, and I'd be just sitting there like this. I'd say, hey, we just want to bless you. And by the way, and then I'd say, do you want one box too? And then I'll take 10 men, and I'll take this. And I'd say, hey, and then what I do by the end of the block. I just want to let you know your neighbors bought Thin Mints, and you want just Thin Mints? They also got tag alongs. You ain't gonna you're gonna be hungry. we sold so many like when we went there, they had they unloaded everybody's thing, and ours was like huge. They're like, what did you guys do? But you understand that is teaching people how to do that. And then like that whole thing, scared walking up to people thing, I teach. I'm gonna have Gracie out there, but the boys gonna be standing right there with her. You understand that? And they're going to learn what's called verbal confidence. My kids aren't scared of people. When we go to the barbershop, you pay the barber, you thank them, you tip them, so we got to start doing that. I know I'm talking about generational wealth. And you guys are like, he's talking about girls. No, we're not. We're talking about how you begin to build both ways, financially, and you're also going to build on self. Okay. And that's what the Bible says. So, hey, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, we got some more stuff coming about getting inheritance, and we're going to come back to you. We're going to share them with you in the very near future, okay? So everybody have a blessed day and share this with somebody, all right? God bless you.